Hey, I'm Randy, and I'm the Cheap Audio Man. Here at the Cheap Audio Man, we don't feel like high-powered amplifiers like the Crown XLS Drive Core 2 1002. Should cost more than a really awesome riding lawnmower to mow your lawn in happiness and comfort. And this doesn't. It's the Crown XLS. Let's see, what is that? 1002 Drive Core 2 amplifier. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the Crown XLS 1002 Drive Core 2. Hey, today's sponsor is Merlin's audiophile banana clip repository. You put your banana clips in here before you put them on your cables, and it makes it sound better through magic. Merlin's. What are we talking about today? It's the Crown XLS. I was really looking forward to this. I've seen Andrew Robinson did a review on this, great review. I've seen and heard about this amp, but I'd never heard the amp. That's until my buddy Brock said, "Hey, Randy, do a review on this." I said, "Thanks, Brock, send it my way." And he sure did. It showed up in this really nice box, and I love the box. Love the box. Okay? All right. Why do I love the box? Because on there it has all the different amps and all the different power ratings. And it reminds me of like back in the day when I go get like a amp for my car. It would have all the other ones listed. So like the 1002 is 215 watts. The 1502 is 300 watts. 2002, 375 watts. And so on and so forth. Okay, but anyway, it's really cool like that. Anyway, this one, the 1002, is rated at 215 watts times 2 into 8 ohms. Okay, 350 watts times 2 into 4 ohms, and 550 watts times 2 into 2 ohms. I have the window open and just close the door on its own. Maybe it's Merlin's door closers too, because it's magical. Okay, you can also bridge it, okay, into 8 ohms. You can bridge it for 700 watts, okay, or 1100 watts into 4 ohms, okay, just in case you need that headroom. You get 1100 watts into 4 ohms, okay. Anyway, this is not what most people would call a hi-fi piece of equipment. It's kind of pro audio stuff. All right. So on the front you have left and right channel gain knobs. Okay, and then you also have some LEDs. It does have a clipping meter, which is pretty cool, and it's got a menu. All right, a lot of cool functionality in this thing from a DSP perspective, like high pass filters, low pass filters, even a band pass filter. What's a band pass filter? It means it takes stuff in the middle and you say, "Hey, I don't want this high stuff, I don't want this low stuff, I just want this stuff." And then it sends it through your speakers, okay? So, what's on the back? What's on the back? All right, on the back you have XLR inputs, okay? You have RCA inputs, and then you have 1/4 inch, kind of like a big headphone jack style of an input. You have a fan. You have your 2 speaker outputs, and then you also have kind of like the pro speaker output type of a cool thing. And then you have some stuff that you can put it to sleep or give you status lights and things like that. Probably if you're having a whole rack of these. All right. The speaker outputs, I used banana plugs, and what I did is I stuck them in there vertically. Okay. So, you can usually use bare wire or your banana plugs work just fine. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the DSP settings. All right. So we're going to take a look at the DSP settings on this thing. All right. There's a lot of them. Guaranteed I'm probably going to mess this up because it's a variety of button presses to get it to work. And oftentimes I don't do that correctly on the first try. All right, so to get into it, just hold down menu for a while. And it's going to be amp mode, crossover, input sensitivity, and system, and then exit. Okay, so we'll go up. you have three buttons: menu, select, previous, and next. Okay, so we'll go into amp mode. We'll hit enter, and you can see you can do stereo, bridged, Y input. Okay, so we're going to leave it on stereo, and when you want to select whichever one you want, you just press enter. Takes you back to the previous menu and then goes down to the next menu setting. All right, crossover. That's going to be useful. Channel 1, hit enter again. Now we can see no crossovers selected right now. Low pass, band pass, and high pass. Okay. What I can see most people doing is utilizing the high pass filter. Hit enter again. Now you can control the frequency at which you want the high pass filter put on your speakers. And why you want a high pass filter? Let's say you have some bookshelves in a smaller room. You don't want the bass hitting them super hard, so you put a high pass filter on them. Okay? All right. Now, so it popped us down to channel 2. So that means we now have a high pass filter on channel 1. So I don't actually want that. So I want to go back up here, hit enter, and then we have to go back up to no crossover and hit enter again. All right? Now we shouldn't have any crossovers on there. Okay? So we'll hit back, and then input sensitivity. You probably don't need to worry about that unless you need to worry about it. And then system, you can go in there, display sleep, lighting, security, all that good stuff. All right, information, factory reset back. So we're gonna hit back, go down here, hit exit, and bada bing, bada boom. We're out. We're out of the DSP menu. Final thoughts on how it sounds. Okay, so this is kind of like a music transportation vehicle. All right, so whatever you have feeding it, i.e. a DAC or a preamp or whatever's going into it, is gonna sound how it sounds out the back end of it into your speakers. I drove this, not drove it, fed it. There you go. I fed this with the Emotiva TA100. It's an integrated amp, but you can also use it as a preamp, and that's what I did. I used it as a preamp. I also used the Blue Sound Node 2i going into this thing. All right. This is not a question of power. Obviously, this thing has plenty of power, more power than anybody would probably ever need. Okay? It comes down to sound. And while it sounds great, it sounds just fine, depending, again, what you have going into it. That's going to color the sound, I think, more than this thing colors the sound. All right? It's a little bit dry. A little bit dry. And what I did notice when I compared this AB to the Emotiva A300 being driven, again, by the TA100 as a preamp, I found that the soundstage and imaging and depth and three-dimensionality went away. Had nothing to do with the sound. It sounded fine. It had everything to do with a presentation that was completely two-dimensional, I felt, on the Crown. Sounds great, okay? Personally, it would not be my first choice simply because I felt like I lost that three-dimensionality of the music. And at $350, the Emotiva A300 is like $400. And it still gives me that three-dimensionality, and it gives me plenty of power, like 300 watts into 4, and I think 180 into 8. Okay, so it's good. This is fine if you need just pure power. Okay, it's great. A lot of options with the DSP and the high pass filters, things like that. There's tons of options with this thing. In my use case scenario, it's not the right product for me, simply because I'm looking for that more immersive experience. And I did not find that this product gave me that immersive experience. It could be the product for you, though. So if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe. You can like the video if you liked it. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. Every Sunday night, we do patron-only Zooms. We also have sometimes patron-only content. All right, we get together, have a good time, chit-chat. Also, Facebook group for patrons only, kind of. You can also sign up for Amazon Music HD for free. Click on the link in the description. Scroll down to the bottom, click Try HD. My test track playlist is in the description, as well as the Satanic Panic, as well as Leg Warmers, which is playlists that I put together. They're a lot of fun. If you use any of the links in the description, most of the links, they are affiliate links, which means I get a commission if you buy something after you click on the link. Okay? So, with all that said, don't binge watch Netflix or Hulu or anything. Binge listen to your favorite streaming service, maybe through the Crown, and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.